Good evening, baseball fans. It is Wednesday, November 6th. I am Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. It has been a minute since it's been this configuration, Suzy and Tom, for the Astros because I don't know if you guys know this. Newsflash. Astros got bounced very early. So it was just a little pointless to be talking about the Astros. Although the hardcore fans did. Apparently, I'm
Mhm.
not hardcore enough because I just paid attention to the other baseball that was happening in the life in around me, and, not Tom. Don't get it twisted. Not Tom's not watching any of the baseball. If the Astros aren't in it, Tom's not watching. Your girl
Loyal.
here. Your girl here, though, is gonna watch all the baseball. But, Tom, before we get into all of the hot stove news and notes and all of that fun stuff, we should probably give the people the rated R warning because this is, in fact, a rated R podcast for all of the four-letter words and probably, possibly some inappropriate adult humor just because that's just who I am as an actual person. So if that is not your jam, skedaddle on out of here. Go find another less fun Astros podcast, of which there are a ton, and get your news that way. No, the other podcasts are fun, somewhat, maybe, if you like that sort of stuff. This over here, though, a little bit more rated R. Again, lots of ways you can ingest Astros content. I know that I am not everybody's flavor, and that is a-okay. That's a-okay. Tom, way more people like Tom than me. Just that's why we have Tom on the show, so that he can be universally liked, and I can be the old crotchety lady over here. Anyhow, Tom, how's it going, sir?
I miss baseball. Do you miss baseball?
No, what are you talking about? I don't miss baseball at all. I've definitely not been aimlessly surfing through the channels trying to find something to watch because for 8 months out of the year, I have baseball to watch. If it's not Astros baseball, I have some other baseball to watch. Now, I know people don't come for me. I know there's Dominican Winter League going on. I know there is the World Baseball Classic. That's not the World Baseball Classic baseball that's going on. It's less fun. And I don't understand Spanish. And there's only so many times I can hear the word pelota without being like, I don't understand what else is happening. What's going on? So at some point in time, I probably will get desperate enough and watch those. However, I have been known to YouTube some of those and just have it on as like background noise. That's not what I'm doing at all. You have other sports to watch. I don't have any other sports to watch,
I
Tom.
do have other sports to watch, but when you have 8 months of baseball, it's one of those things where when it's gone, you miss it. I miss it. The winter meetings has started up, and that reinvigorates the baseball talk, so we can table the Texan talk and the Rockets talk and the Dynamo talk until we're done talking baseball.
This is true. Can I show you what I got the other day? And I was very excited about it. You're audio only. You're audio only. Go look
Hey,
at the YouTube right now. If you go to the YouTube right now.
wow, that
Uh-huh.
is sexy.
Mhm.
That's
You
rated
see
R right there.
You see who that is right there? Yes, that
That
is
is her catcher
my catcher. Because I've been on this train since the
since
very
day
first.
one.
Yes. So for the audio only folks, it is a signed Yiner Diaz jersey. It is not an actual licensed MLB jersey. It's a knockoff. However, the autograph itself, there's a PSA sticker on that shit. So,
Legit.
so I got to get that framed. My ever growing shrine of Yiner things is just if
As it
Yiner
should.
ever if Yiner ever gets traded, I'm fucked. That's just
Nah.
there's just a people will be like, "What? Who is that?" Oh, let me tell you about Yiner. But I guess that's a good place to start, guys. So if you have not heard, it is I don't know, like a week or so after the World Series of the trouncing of the New York Yankees. Hooray, Dodgers! Yay for you! You won a World Series, and the Yankees continue to get trounced on, and they have some massive holes that need to be filled. That's what she said. And maybe our third baseman, Alex Bregman, I can't call him our third baseman anymore because he is technically a free agent, is on the market. Do you know how hard it is to explain free agency to a 9-year-old, Tom?
I don't because my kids don't love sports like yours do. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, so if you guys don't follow me on social media, you won't know that I made one of my 9-year-old twins into Jose Altuve. Not just Jose Altuve, Jose Altuve's trading card. I was very crafty. I was very crafty and I was very proud of myself. And there is a reason that I'm telling you guys this. She was very excited because she was Kyle Tucker last year, but without the trading card part. She was just Kyle Tucker. This year, she was Jose Altuve's trading card, and next year, she already has next year planned, and she goes, "Next year, I'm gonna be Alex Bregman's trading card," and I go, "Oh, so there may be a slight problem with that, baby," and she goes, Why? I don't Are you not gonna make me a trading card? That was the problem." And I go, "No, I will make you into a trading card. However, Alex Bregman may not be on the team." And she goes, "What do you mean? What do you mean he's not going to be on the team?" I go, "He may be on the team, but he's now a free agent." And she just looked at me like I had punched her puppy. That's not a euphemism for anything else. It's actual, like, caused harm to one of her pets. And she looked at me and she goes, "I don't understand what you're talking about, mom. Alex Bregman is on the Astros." I go, "Technically, Alex Bregman is what they call a free agent. Now he can go sign with any team that he wants." And she just looked at me bolder and she goes, why wouldn't he sign with the Astros?" I go, "Well, the money." And I couldn't tell her anything else. Money. And she goes, "So then why don't the Astros just pay him?" Exactly, babe. Why don't the Astros just pay him? And then I had to tell her he'll be 30 when the season starts. And she goes, "But 30 is not that old." And I go, "But in baseball years, it's getting up there." And then he wants a long-term contract, and the Astros don't give long-term contracts. And why? It was a whole downhill battle. But just suffice it to say, people, that the 9-year-old sees the flaws in not re-signing Alex Bregman.
See, what I need to know is if this 9-year-old said, "Mommy, what do you want the Astros to do?" And then I need to know what mommy said.
Mom said, "I would love if Jim Crane gave Alex Bregman, I don't know, 5 years, 125, 5 years, 130. That'd be great. I would love that." Alex Bregman, on the other hand, Alex Bregman is not going to be satisfied with that contract. He will most likely be looking for a 6, 7, 8-year contract, taking him into his 35, 36, 37, 38 season, of which I'm not thrilled with. I don't think I wanna see a 38-year-old Alex Bregman at third base.
But mommy,
That's
why
just
can't you just give Alex what he wants?
Listen, if I had enough money to do that, maybe we would, but I don't, and that's not my money, so I don't really care. However, the New York Yankees may actually give him what he wants, and if I have to see Alex Bregman in pinstripes, I will vomit,
Can
and
you
then
make
maybe
that
yeet
Halloween
myself off a
costume?
building. I absolutely would not. Absolutely would not.
But mommy, I want to be Alex Bregman.
Nope, sorry, babe.
If
However,
you
Jackson Merrill's
believe,
dad told me that she needed to be Jackson Merrill next year. I was like, I could maybe talk her into that. So, anyhow,
Astros only, mom. Astros only. You can root for 10 teams. The kiddos need to root for the Astros.
the kiddos are going to be very well versed in baseball, all right? That's what the kiddos are gonna do. They are gonna be ride or die Astros, but they're gonna know about the other baseballs.
So speaking of Alex
So,
Bregman, what do you make of what Dana Brown said about Alex Bregman?
if you guys are not aware, Dana Brown said, and I quote, "We are making Alex Bregman a very big priority." Is that general manager Dana Brown speak for, "We're gonna give him an offer. Hopefully it doesn't offend him. And maybe, just maybe, he likes Houston enough to take a hometown discount." I don't think he will, though. And now that the Diamondbacks have given A. Eugenio Suarez his club option, there goes that whole Diamondbacks theory. However, I had only seen this reported in one article by Ari Alexander saying that Bregman would be happy to move to second, which opens up a bunch more clubs. And I'm sorry, what now? Alex Bregman, you're going to where? Maybe that does fit. I can't. No, because Ketel Marte is over there. Ketel Marte for the D-backs is wrapped up. So that D-backs may not be a fit for Alex Bregman any longer. You know who else needs a second baseman? The New York Yankees.
So why are you okay? Let me ask you this. Are
I,
you
I'm not okay with it.
no. So are you not okay with the Astros offering 7 years or 6 years, $180 million?
No, I'm not okay with it. But it's not my money.
No,
It's
but you're gonna have to speak to it. And if the Astros go and they pay Alex Bregman for a 6 or a 7 year deal,
You can kiss Kyle Tucker goodbye.
why do you say that?
If Kyle Tucker reaches free agency, he's not going to resign. He
What do you think Kyle Tucker could get?
A bajillion dollars for 10 years. 10 years, a lot of money. A lot of money that I don't think the Astros will match.
Okay, if you could sign Bregman and you can't sign Tucker, do you do it for the sake of trying to keep some of your core together in order to keep running at this thing?
I need you to know, just the mere thought of Kyle Tucker not on the Astros now has a just a pit of disgust in my belly. I need you to know that, okay? As I was trying to formulate words and not sound like a blubbering idiot, all my mind could think was abso-fucking-lutely not. No. No, I'm not gonna answer that because I don't want to think of Kyle Tucker not on this team. I don't know. Honestly, that sucks. If I could only have the one, I don't wanna make the decision. If I could only have the one, I would, probably take I don't know. I'd
So the
probably take
reason
Alex Bregman.
so the reason I ask you this question is because you just painted a
Is
scenario.
because you want to pain me, that's why,
No,
Tom.
they're my team too. I want them to keep them all. I want them to sign them all. But here's the conundrum you're in, right? If we're sitting here saying Alex Bregman's going to command X, and then we're saying Kyle Tucker's going to command Y, and we're definitely not going to give Kyle Tucker the money that you would give Kyle Tucker because we can't even get to Alex Bregman money. Is Dana Brown going to Jim Crane and going, look, I'm going to lose one of them based on what we're saying if he has the same numbers that we have. So let me try to keep one so we can keep doing this and we'll figure out, and we won't do a good job, but we'll try to figure out a way to replace Kyle Tucker. You know what I'm saying?
You're not gonna find another Kyle Tucker. I'm
I
really and we're not gonna find another Alex Bregman for those people that are saying, "I know." Okay? They're not growing on trees for
because
win players, just are not out there,
because
just flapping in the wind.
because I think really what separates Alex Bregman from being an Astro and being out of reach is probably 1 or 2 years, and it's probably 30 to $45 million, something like that. I don't know. But if Dana Brown is doing what I think he is based on the language of which he's talking and how they're aggressively approaching the Alex Bregman deal, he probably went to Dana and go, look, I could probably get you Alex Bregman. I absolutely can't get you Kyle Tucker based on the window, based on the narrative that we framed, based on everything that we know about Dana Brown, based on everything that says he will never go that far on a contract with anyone. I'm just saying, as the season ended and I started to reflect and we started listening, and then I saw Dana Brown really talk about he feels really confident and they're making Alex Bregman a priority. The only way he says these things, the only way he steps to the plate to offer Bregman a contract close to what he wants is if he's already looking at the future and what Kyle Tucker holds and knowing that he can't get there. And I thought it was really interesting because they went out, and this is not anything to do with anything, but they went out and added an outfielder immediately. And yeah, maybe it's for trade cabbage or whatever. But then they spoke to Chaz and Jake about locking them up and having them a contract. And it just made me wonder, why on earth would you press Alex Bregman? And maybe we don't know. Maybe Jim's screw it. We're making a pile of money in this boat. We fill Minute Maid all the time or whatever they're going to call it. Cause I heard there's a rumor that they're going to change the name of the stadium to something else. But we fill that joker. We sell all this stuff. We'll just pay players. And maybe the Astros will. You got to think, if they're not paying guys like Justin Verlander and they're not paying guys like Framber Valdez, they're spending a ton of money as is to construct the roster they have currently. They're going to be able to potentially offer big money to somebody for the simple fact that they're not paying Verlander. They're not paying maybe Ryan Presley. They're not paying other guys.
And we'll get to the pressing Ryan Presley news here shortly, but how long have we talked about Alex Bregman's Gold Glove defense at third? How long? 3, 4 years now? And finally, the motherfucker does it on his walk year. On his walk year, he wins the AL Gold Glove Award. Now, I understand people, because I feel the same way, that the Gold Glove is a crock of shit, but not the real ball knowers know. The real ball knowers know, Tom, because at no point in time are you thinking Juan Soto is a good fucking Gold Glove right fielder. All right,
Or Aaron
we all
Judge.
know. We all know. However, the Gold Glove standard, which should be the best defensive player at that position. We all know that it's not been that over the last few years. I understand. But we all get, quote unquote, the idea of what the Gold Glove is supposed to be. If we are really truly trying to do this, the Fielding Bible Awards is what we would go off of, but the general baseball fan is not going to know what the fuck the Fielding Bible Awards are. But they are going to know what a Gold Glove is. So, Gold Glove is where we will stay. He has just been upping his stratosphere of payment here with all of the things. And I need him to stop, because if you could just not be so good, Alex Bregman, then maybe we could afford you. I'm just saying.
I disagree about the Gold Glove thing because I don't think anybody needed him to have a Gold Glove to know that he's that guy. So for everyone that says, "Oh, this is just adding dollars to," they were going to market him as a Gold Glove third baseman, whether he wanted it or not, because he is that good. Because he's been nominated for it like 4 years in a row or whatever, 5 years in a row, whatever. So it's not to say that he's not that caliber. Now, is it in his trophy case? Absolutely. But they're also going to say two-time World Series champion Alex Bregman too. And at no point in time did that change. So for me, I think that while yes, the narrative will be, oh, you're going to have to pay X amount more dollars because he's a Gold Glover. I think you were paying that regardless.
Two things. Taylor Trammell is the fourth outfielder that we signed. Not a great. I don't know why we did. Like Tom, you and I discussed, really you discussed, and I looked at it and then forgot to thumbs up the message. Maybe we picked him up because he had options, and Trey Cabbage, who the Pirates picked up, was out of options here. Who knows? But he is a World Series winner, though. He gets a ring. Taylor Trammell does get a ring. So for next season, apparently, my watch is telling me I have 10% life left. The watch, not me. Currently, as constructed, the projected total amount of money the Astros will spend is $214 million plus change, which leaves us about almost $78 million. I almost said $78,000. That's not right. But there is a bunch of money coming off the books in 2026. So I just, like, Kyle Tucker, can you just hold off? Can we just sign you? Can we just make you a new contract in 2026?
Yes,
But by
absolutely.
then, he will be worth all of the monies, and it will just cost so much more.
No, it doesn't have to be like that. When they signed Jordan Alvarez to his extension, it was buying out all of his ARB years. They could absolutely do that with Kyle Tucker, which gets back to Dana Brown saying that he's already had conversations with Kyle's representation about doing just that. Maybe loading money up, however, in order to get Kyle Tucker on board earlier, the way they did Jordan. But they don't have to sign him until that point. But like you said, the beautiful thing is that they're not paying anybody past that point. They did a really good job of all of these guys. Now there are guys with some big contracts. You're talking about Altuve, Jordan, CJ, Hader, McCullers, even though that'll be McCullers' last year, I believe. So
McCullers is
when
last year. He'll be a free agent in 27.
so Kyle Tucker's, I think his contract would start then. So there is money to be spent by the Astros. It's just the years. I think the years are the big hurdle, not paying guys. They've never had a problem paying guys. Hell, they gave Jose Abreu all kinds of money to not play.
Yeah. We're going to talk about first base too. But hi, Alex Bregman also got his gremlins from his elbow removed, the bone spurs. I don't know, Alex. Maybe if we didn't strike out so much, maybe those gremlins in your elbow wouldn't have hurt so bad. I'm just saying. So, Alex Bregman to the Yankees. No, that would physically kill me.
I need you to stop saying that. I know you're not wishing it into existence, but it's like Beetlejuice. You just can't say it. I don't even want to envision a world because since you're talking about the Yankees, they have a lot of holes. And obviously, the one that everybody wants them to fill first is Juan Soto. And if for some reason that does not come to pass, then they will have money to spend elsewhere. So I think it is paramount for Dana to get out in front of them and let them figure out where they're going to spend their money, however else they're going to spend it. What I didn't know about that team, which is really interesting, is that they have a bunch of relievers that are free agents. So as nails as that bullpen was, and you're going to have to fill that. The Astros getting Bregman done sooner rather than later probably benefits them if that is indeed what Dana Brown wants to do.
Yeah. So the GM meetings are actually going on as well, and that's where a lot of these notes and little tidbits of news have been coming out. So, like I said, this article from Ari Alexander of what Click to Houston. There we go. Is that what KRPC?
I think something like that. Channel 2.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have my call letters because I don't ever actually watch the regular TV channels. Anyhow, so Astros also, Alex Bregman is number one priority. The other priority is an upgrade at first base. Some first base names that have been linked over here is 37-year-old Cardinal Paul Goldschmidt. And I don't know about y'all, but I have been scarred mentally, emotionally, not physically, but almost physically, by aging first basemen not holding up their end of the bargain. And I don't think I can do another season of an aging first baseman over there, because while Paul Goldschmidt's numbers ended up decent, the first half of his season looked about like Jose Abreu's. It was not pretty. And trust me when I say the Cardinals fan base wanted to shoot Paul Goldschmidt out of a cannon and to the moon, and it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. I don't know if no, mentally, Paul Goldschmidt can take it because he's a baseball player, and I'm pretty sure that baseball players are Teflon and just they have to take all of the arrows that fucking social media slings at them. It wouldn't. No, Paul Goldschmidt needs to go back to the D-backs, and it'll be one just time is a flat circle, and it'll be a happy reunion because apparently Mike Hazen, their general manager, said that Paul Goldschmidt is the one that got away, and that's the one that he should not have traded. So Paul Goldschmidt, go on back home to the D-backs, make it a reunion, and then we will have a happy storyline, and I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Now, I think what made obviously his production made Jose Abreu hard for people to swallow, but I
Hey
think
now,
I know it's the Radar podcast. Anyway, but I think if you told me that they were going to get one of these aging guys on a smaller, short-term deal, like a 1 year, like that kind of thing, and it's a platoon, like going in as a platoon thing, like we're not going to play you every day. I'm not against if John Singleton is meant to come back, great, and then you platoon with this other person, if that is 37-year-old Paul Goldschmidt. The idea that it needs to be a younger guy depends on what you're spending for me. What made Jose Abreu even harder for a lot of people in my eyes was the fact he was making so much money. We knew what Big John was. Big John couldn't hit lefties, but nobody necessarily hated the idea of, especially Suzy, about running him out there against lefties because it wasn't like, in my opinion, it wasn't like a big, huge cap strain. It was like you that was built into it. Okay, you're paying the other guys. You're not paying this guy. I wouldn't be opposed to a platoon first baseman situation.
okay, if that is the case, then it definitely cannot be John Singleton we're running out there with Paul Goldschmidt, because versus left-handed pitching, Paul Goldschmidt is rocking a 136 OPS plus.
Okay, then bring me another old guy.
So it's definitely not that. In 167 plate appearances, he had 43 hits, 11 doubles, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 16 walks with a slash line of 295 something else because my screen blacked out, 366 OBP and a 473 slug. That's them some good numbers. I just would not. I've been scarred. I've been scarred. I've been scarred by the old guys. I'm married to an old guy. I don't need any more old guys in my life. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just I don't need any more old guys. I have plenty. Bring me a younger first baseman.
So, what are your
That's all
thoughts
I
on Big Z?
I'll I don't know. Zach DeZenzo also scares me because what the fuck are we gonna get? We don't know. I remember looking up his stats for Twitter, and then I don't remember what his actual stats were. And And that was part of the narrative that Zach DeZenzo may be, depending on all of the other moves that we make this offseason, that Zach DeZenzo may be the fill-in there. Was DeZenzo the right-handed hitter that we would platoon with John Singleton?
Yeah, but his splits versus lefties weren't good either.
We just need a lefty mashing first baseman. That shouldn't be too hard to find, right? What's Carlos Santana's splits?
I don't know, but the rumor is that he is still, but that's an old guy. You said you didn't want an old guy.
Listen, if Carlos Gold Glove winner Carlos Santana, mind you, can mash lefties and he gets the short side of the platoon, rocking a 109 OPS plus, a 2.5 WAR. Okay, Carlos Santana.
A name that I thought could be a candidate for the Astros at the trade deadline the last couple seasons, always hits for average, is a guy like Josh Bell. He's from Texas, hits right-handers, OPS. I'm sorry, versus lefties, 705 OPS, 734 versus righty. He's a 106 OPS plus versus righties, a 98 versus lefties. I think that would be a name that I would be interested in.
Do you want to know what Carlos Santana platoon splits are versus lefties?
Do it.
A 159.
That's nice.
159. He mashes lefties. His slash line is 286, 356 with a 578 slug for an OPS of 934. He mashes lefties. Righties, he's not horrible. He's a 91 OPS plus.
So Carlos Santana with a little Big John sprinkled in. First base solved.
There you go.
Heard it here
We've
first.
solved the first base problem. There you go. So the other areas also, a left-handed hitting outfielder. Now, we should tell you that Chas McCormick, our guy, is above Jake Myers in the depth chart, according to Ari Alexander, who
According to Dana
apparently
Brown.
point blank asked Dana Brown, what was the pecking order? And even though Jake Myers' defense does grade out a little bit higher, the fact that his anemic bat, also not a euphemism, his actual weak bat, is there, negates all of that. Chas McCormick, while not great last season, had been great in 22 and 23. If he can just get back to that, we would be solid. We would be solid.
I think the
So,
club has faith in Chaz. And for me, that's like the biggest thing. I don't know why he can't retain a starting role. I hope that changes next season. I think that when Chaz is right, he's your best option for the best combination of offense and defense. If metrically you feel like Jake Myers is the better defender, okay. But I think when Chaz is right, he's the superior offensive player. And for me, I'll sacrifice a little bit on the defensive end to get the dude who can hit for average, hit for power, that sort of thing.
do you know who I want
I
to
do
fill
not.
this hole? Bring me Jock Peterson.
Young Jock. Interesting. Puka Shell.
Bring me Jock Peterson. I will, in a heartbeat. 151 OPS plus this season. Bats left, never sees a lefty. Just mashes against right-handed pitching. Bring me Jock Peterson. Please and thank you. Defense, not great. So odds are he could DH.
No.
He could DH when Jordan is in the field. You could throw him. You could throw him out. You could throw him out in left field at home. Come on now. Let's see.
But then how do you play both your catchers then?
Hey, because you know what he does against left-handed pitching? A 116 OPS plus.
I hear
So,
you.
I mean, at this point, fuck it. Bring me Jock Peterson. Versus, let's see, left-handed pitching, he had 42 plate appearances. He has 7 hits, 1 double, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 7 walks for a 219, 405, 344 slug. Versus left-handed pitching, I'll take it. But versus right-handed pitching, he is fucking elite. I wouldn't say elite, way above average. Let's just say that. Very good. 281, 392, a 531 slug for a 923 OPS. 158 OPS plus. Yes, bring me Jock Peterson. Let's see, what is Jock? I think last season he had a 1-year, $12.5 million contract. And the way that the D-backs ran it out there was they signed Jock Peterson to hit versus righties and Randall Grichuk to hit versus lefties. And that was it. Randall Grichuk is the better defender, though.
Is Randall Grichuk a free agent?
Randall Grichuk is also a free agent.
Bring me
And I
Randall
want to
Grichuk.
say, I also want to say Randall Grichuk is from Texas. Is from Houston, actually, right?
Rosenberg. Yep. Yep.
Rosenberg. Okay,
Right here.
so
Bring him home.
I wouldn't mind Randall Grichuk either, but what? Let's see, Randall Grichuk against with a 140 OPS plus. Okay, Randall Grichuk, I see you. Bring me Randall Grichuk versus shit. Maybe Randall Grichuk will just be the everyday outfielder. But he's not. But see, that's the problem though. He doesn't bat left. He's a righty. But his platoon splits versus right-handed pitching is a 120 OPS plus versus left-handed pitching, which is 156.
Make it make sense.
A 140 OPS plus. Hell, bring me Randall Grichuk, man. Fuck the left-handed pitching. Or left-handed hitting, excuse me. And I want to say his contract wasn't too expensive last season, I don't think, either. Come on, Spot Track. No? Oh, maybe because there's only one L in Randall, Suzy. Excuse me.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, Randall Grichuk. Oh my god, he's so cheap. Last year, he made $2 million. He made $2 million last season. Bring me Randall Grichuk. Lefties, I don't care. Bring me Randall Grichuk. All right, Dana Brown, you hear me? Randall Grichuk.
Yeah, I think he would be great. Another guy that I thought they might target the free agent deadline in years past. Guy always hits well here. I think he would be great for Minute Maid Park. So sign me up for that.
Apparently, let's see. It looks like, according to Spot Track, his calculated market value is $3.3 million a season. Cheap.
That's cheap.
Very cheap. Hell yeah. Throw him out in left field, man. And then the days that Jordan's out in left field, motherfucker can DH. And don't tell me about playing both of my catchers because I will take Randall Grichuk's bat over Victor Caratini's bat any day of the week.
It's not that. I just think they like catching Caratini more because of the veteran catcher presence. So it's like you're sacrificing Yiners. I don't think they play Victor at DH. He's normally catching and you get Yiner at DH. So you keep his bat in the lineup.
I'm fine with that. And then Randall can come on in pinch hit situations. And I want to say in pinch hit situations this last season, he was actually pretty good too. What would that be? Clutch stats? Maybe? Oh, give me Randall Grichuk in high leverage situations and in medium leverage situations. This motherfucker excelled. 165 and a 166 for high leverage and medium leverage. OPS plus? Absolutely. Bring him in. Pinch hit? Yes. All of the things. The literal only thing that he doesn't have that apparently the Astros want is to be left-handed.
But I feel like the reason you want a left-handed guy is to make the lineup left. But I don't think you need that if he hits righties well. Like I would imagine that it's like having a left-handed reliever. If your right-handers get lefties out, then you don't necessarily need a left-handed reliever. So maybe I'm wrong.
In the baseball reference, excuse me, it has the teams broken down of OPS plus. This motherfucker, bring me. The more I'm digging into Randall Grichuk, you're getting all of these stats in real time. You're getting all of these feelings in real time, people. I am falling in love with Randall Grichuk more and more. All right. Bring me Randall Grichuk. There we go, Dana Brown. And he's going to be cheap. Upgrade the bullpen. So let's talk about the bullpen.
Let's talk about it. The bullpen's going to be really interesting next season.
So if you guys hadn't heard, apparently sources, quote unquote, close to the Astros have said that they have been open to trading Ryan Presley. The caveat being that Ryan Presley is making $14 million next season and also has a full no trade clause. So obviously, Ryan Presley has to agree to wherever the Astros want to trade him. However, let's see where the actual quote that I want to read in here was Brown mentioned Tuesday that any trade the Astros make where they give up an MLB player, they would like at least two MLB level players in return. He did not specify which players the Astros are making available in trade talks. If the Astros were to move him, it would likely be to a team where Presley could be the closer. When I quote tweeted this on Twitter and asked Twitter what teams need a closer, someone replied, and I replied with, I think if the correct team, if the correct fit plus money were to come across, I believe Ryan Presley would leave the Astros if he could be a closer, an actual closer somewhere else. And two teams immediately popped into my brain, one of which I definitely, well, three teams immediately popped into my brain, two of which I don't think he would go to. Dodgers, Yankees. I don't think he'd go to either of those places. Who is not going to have closers next year? The Texas Rangers,
Why on earth do you think he would go there and have to
because
face
he
the Astros every single stinking season, however long he
because he
pitches?
lives in
Like,
Dallas.
but
They
I
also
mean,
have a home here, obviously, but he's from there. They live there. I don't know. Do you think he would go to Chicago? The Cubs definitely need a closer.
I don't know. It's really interesting. I think his no trade is based on his 10 years of service plus 5 years on the same team. I think that's how you get there. So I'm curious as to who he would not go to. I'm sure he's got like a list that he's probably
Right.
provided the Astros. Look, I won't go here. I won't go there. Immediately off the top of my head, every team that I could think of that's competitive is probably set. Obviously, the first team when you posed the question I thought of was Minnesota because that's where he came from, but I don't think they're looking for a closer. I thought maybe Baltimore because
Maybe.
they could be looking for a closer, but they got guys that can close. Just really weird. Would you trade him to say Boston maybe? Would you trade him to
Ooh.
Boston's
I
got
would do
money
Boston. I and Boston has prospects that are
on the fringe?
almost MLB ready. But if they're wanting two MLB players, they've got MLB players and they've got some really good pieces that don't fit
Fit.
perfectly in that whole Boston Red Sox jigsaw puzzle that is over there. So the Red Sox may that may be
Because there's
that may
rumors that
be
the Red Sox
somewhere.
are going to have irons in the fire everywhere because they have this thing where it's like they're horrible for a year and then they just go and win a World Series. And they're horrible for a year and they go and win a World Series. So you've got a team like that could potentially be in a situation where, yeah, they could target closer. I start thinking about other playoff teams and are the Royals looking for a closer? I don't know. The Guardians have a closer, but he didn't close. What are they doing? You just start going down the line of playoff teams because I feel like it's got to be somebody that either was in the playoffs or just barely missed it for Presley to even consider that because he's already getting paid. Why leave the Astros if you don't have to? I know he wants to close, but I'm sure at this stage of his career, he wants to win. So it's like if I can't have my cake and eat it too, I might as well just be miserable on a team that I know is going to try to make a run at the World Series every year.
What about Detroit?
What about Detroit?
That may be an option.
Could be. They've got a bunch of young guys. They're on the come up. They're close.
Mhm. And if the rumors hold true, which there have been rumblings that Alex Bregman and Justin Verlander may end up in Detroit. So, who knows there? If you guys have any ideas of where Ryan Presley would fit, please put it down in the YouTube comments while you're there. Hit like on the episode, hit subscribe if you've not already subscribed to the show. Please and thank you. Who else do you think he who else? Where else do you think he could go?
I don't know. Jason Foley
Ooh,
was the
Padres maybe?
closer for the Tigers. He was actually really good, so I don't know if that means anything. Obviously, Presley's got the name. It's like, do you really just really want a name, or do you want the guy that's actually 28 saves and 32 opportunities in 2024? So
Yeah, but they were closer by committee there at the end in that quote unquote pitching chaos, which is
the
essentially just
coach,
bullpen.
the coach of the Detroit Tigers knows Ryan Presley very well, and maybe that would factor into that. I just
Are you
can't.
talking
I
about the
can't.
pitching coach, or are you talking about
The manager,
oh, you
the
'cause well,
yeah.
you said coach, and so I was
I'm
confused.
sorry, right? The manager of the coach manager, same ish. The manager of the Detroit Tigers would know Ryan Presley very well. Robert Suarez just re-signed with the Padres in 2022, 5-year, $46 million deal.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
no.
don't think that's an option. So the pool
JK.
is really small. So I think it's one thing for the Astros to say we've had discussions. It's another thing to have a trade partner willing to go out and get Ryan Presley. I also wonder sometimes if teams aren't going to do that for the Astros because it'd be doing them a service to potentially sign. If the Tigers went out and traded for Ryan Presley, it would enable the Astros to potentially keep Alex Bregman. And if I was trying to obtain Alex Bregman, I would not look for a way. You know what I mean? Maybe they're just trying to make their team better, but the chess game that is general managing, maybe they say, no, I'm not touching any of your players because I want the guy that's the free agent and you can't afford him.
Maybe. Ah, yeah. All right. We shall see what happens on the free agent front, on the hot stove front. Our roster, I think, is set at 38, 36, 36. I think 36. Because there were a bunch of roster moves that got DFA'd. Seth Martinez got DFA'd, which disappointed me, but he is now in the very capable Arizona Diamondbacks hands. Actually, I take that back. I don't know who their pitching coach is because they fired Brent Strom, so he's on the Diamondbacks. Who knows if he will survive spring training? We shall see. Penn Murphy got DFA'd as well, which kind of confused me because he obviously had to get TJ and didn't throw. But I want to say, didn't we trade for him though? I felt like
Mhm.
we traded for him. Who did we give up for Penn Murphy?
And that was a Dana Brown move.
The fact that we kept some of the guys, I'm all, why did we keep him?
You're not going to talk about the big elephant in the room as far as DFA?
I was gonna get there.
Oh, my bad, my bad. My bad.
I wasn't gonna jump from Penn Murphy to that.
They claimed him off waivers from the Atlanta Braves. Penn Murphy.
Okay. Okay, so we didn't give up anybody for that, but that's okay. That is okay. But he seemed like a very intriguing arm and one that I thought maybe would work out. Obviously not, but I want to say he got scooped up by somebody too, though. White Sox scooped him up. So lots of our players going other places. Yay for them getting a job. Hooray. But one that I was surprised by and upset by, Jose Urquidy.
I'm
He's a free agent now.
confused. Why would you be upset by that?
Because we could have traded him. We could have traded him like 2 seasons ago and or a season ago. No, definitely 2 seasons ago and gotten back a very good caliber player, i.e. Wilson Contreras.
You're never going to let that trade go, are you? Now, you needed
Just
Urquidy that season, though.
I'm just saying.
He
But
pitched well in that postseason, though.
we could have traded Jose Urquidy at the end of that. We could have traded Jose Urquidy, hell, probably at the beginning of this season, and we could have gotten back something.
You couldn't have traded Jose Urquidy at the beginning of the season. They had 78 billion arms hurt. You needed him until he got hurt. I get it. Like hindsight is 2020, right? But okay, so if they trade Jose Urquidy for William Contreras, he's your catcher, and Yainer Diaz is on some other team probably. Like these are the things. Like yeah, you could have, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. I hate that Jose Urquidy's not an Astro, but if you believe a scenario where they go try to resign Yusei Kikuchi, you can't have Jose Urquidy. So from that standpoint, because also Dana Brown spoke to that, said we'd like to bring him back too. Thought he was really good. You spoke at the end of the season how you wanted to see him come back. Really like that idea. So while you're going to have to see some guys leave the team that had some memorable moments, Jose Urquidy, as just to name one. If you want to add pieces like Yusei Kikuchi, you have to come off of a dude like Jose Urquidy.
Hey, I'm totally fine getting rid of Jose Urquidy. I'm just upset that we let him go for nothing when we could have gotten something. That's my whole thing with Jose Urquidy.
The fact that he cleared waivers made me think that there wasn't a market for him. I think if there was one, they would have traded him for very little, minor leaguer, the next Jordan, who knows. And some team would have said, no, I got to get Jose Urquidy before he's a free agent where everybody can get him. The fact that he's coming off TJ2, I believe,
Mm.
probably makes that more difficult. You never know what a pitcher's going to look like after TJ. They're going to throw harder. You just don't know if the command's going to be there. You don't know what kind of pitcher you're getting back. So I think from that aspect, I can't remember what his contract looked like, but I think he only had one more RB or something like that. So
Yeah.
when you break it down like that, you weren't really losing a ton. Somebody's going to pay him. He'll be on a team, and the Astros will be free of $2 or $3 million, something like that.
Fine, whatever. Bye, Jose Urquidy.
I'll
You know
miss
who
him.
someone said? You know what someone said for first base?
No,
They're
tell
like,
me.
take Anthony Rizzo. Go get Anthony Rizzo. I'm all, no, thank you. I don't want Anthony Rizzo
You
over here
have
either.
that already. Its name is John Singleton. You have that.
I'm like, I don't, no, thank you. I don't know. He could stand on the plate and get hit a bunch of times. But
Now, my fear is that they look at Rizzo at like third base or DJ LeMahieu at like third base
oh, no,
because
thank you.
they can play third base. Third base is going to be. This is why Alex Bregman, I think, in my opinion, this is why I think the Astros are taking such an approach to bringing Alex Bregman back. Besides the fact that he's a foundational piece and a pillar and one of the faces of franchises, when you look at the replacement options for third base, they're not sexy at all. It's
What do
a
you mean?
chasm.
Juan Moncada is right there, bro. Gleyber Torres is right there. JK, Gleyber Torres does not want to play third base. But
Juan
Juan
Moncada,
Moncada, what?
he was
He's right
when he
there.
hurt half the season was not good.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going to sign that guy and then he never plays? Alex Bregman's going to play every day. He may not hit for 2 months. He's going to be in the lineup every day.
Bring me Ty France at first base so that motherfucker never hits against the Astros ever again.
Preach. I thought that too when he got DFA'd by the Mariners. Preach. Yeah, I think that's why third base is such a big deal for the Astros and Dana Brown because they've looked at the landscape. There is no one even remotely close to what Alex Bregman provides if you don't bring him back.
And he's a pseudo pitching coach.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when I said that, Tom? And you're all, no, that's not it. Yes. Yes, that's it.
I'm still not buying that. I think every hitter is a pseudo pitching coach based on that rhetoric. Hey, this pitch was really good, or that pitch was really bad. Taking BP, yeah, I would say that too. If a guy struck me out with something nasty,
Hey, we could go get Gio Urshela.
Gio's not a bad player, but he's injury prone as well. He actually played decent for the Angels.
Jace Peterson.
Pass. Bring me a youngster from Sugarland at that point. Bring me Bryce Matthews at that point.
All right, Zach DeZenzo, step on up.
I can see that. Big Z. Big Z's got a little moxie to him too. He hit a couple homers where he pimped him.
Who was it that made the 3 errors this season? The 3 errors literally all.
Oh,
Was it
yeah.
No, was it Melton? It wasn't Melton.
No,
Who
it
was
wasn't
it?
Mountain.
It was one of the young kids.
Yeah, and I felt really bad for him too because it was just like the game didn't even matter, and it just was like really.
And then he got sent down. It's the
I'm on it.
it's the
I'm on
half
it.
Korean kid.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, the name is escaping me. I can envision his face. And as soon as you say it, I'm going to be so mad at myself. Shea Wickham.
There it is.
There you
You
go.
are
Oh my
correct.
gosh. Shea Wickham.
Shea Wickham, indeed.
That was sad. That was so sad. I felt so bad for
And
him.
he had some moments where he looked good, and that
Mhm.
one game just ate him up. And I don't think that's the end of Shea by any means.
Yeah. Shea Wickham. All right. So, again, folks, we appreciate you being here with us. If you have questions, comments, concerns, if you have any players that you would like the Astros to pick up besides Juan Soto, because we all know that's not actually happening, put those down in the comments on the YouTubes. Or if you would like to talk at us via social media, please do that. Tom, tell the people where they can find you on the social medias, interwebs.
At Third Coast Tom on Twitter, at TC Tom1 on Instagram, and occasionally right here, Bourbon and Baseball, baby.
Absolutely. So, definitely go find us on all of the socials. Find us on YouTube. If you are audio only, please find us on Apple, Spotify, any other of the podcasting apps. Leave a 5-star rating. That would help immensely. Please, if you are so inclined, tippy tap, type out some words, give us a nice little review. That also maybe would just melt my cold, black, dead heart. Just saying. We will probably not be back this weekend. Probably don't look for a All the Balls episode either because it is, in fact, my actual birthday this weekend. So we will not be recording on Sunday
Happy
like
birthday,
Kelsey and I
Suzy!
normally do. Thank you. Thank you. I still can't remember how old I am. I'm either
29.
41 or 42. Nope.
She's lying.
Oh, what did I hear the other day that I really liked? 25 plus tax or something like that? I think I heard that line
I'm
the
here
other day
for
and I
it.
was like,
25 plus
okay,
tax.
25 plus tax. Although I definitely am not. I cannot pass for 25 any longer. However,
Lies.
it's just the Asian skin, really and truly.
Whatever it
But
is, it works. Good job.
if we Kelsey and I will probably record another episode next week, so look for that. If we have any other hot stove options, goings ons, we will I will hop on the mic with Tom and try and get some of that recorded for y'all. But until then, be good to each other and yay baseball! And record. Maybe. Now. Ooh, did I hit it? Nope. There you go.